A gunshot, a scream, and a heartbeat, lives are changed forever. It's more common than you think. The FBI studied active shooter incidents in the United States between 2000 and 2013. On average, there were 6.4 shootings each year during the first 7 years of the study. That number nearly tripled to 16.4 shootings annually for the last 7 years of the study. And they happen everywhere, from factories and airports to every level of education. From churches and malls to law offices and interstates. And of course, military facilities aren't immune.
Shootings at the El Paso Veterans Affairs.
All told, 1,043 victims killed or wounded in 160 active shooter incidents across the country in the 13 years studied.
You have to be prepared for those situations. You can't just take it for granted that it'll never happen at your base. So that's why we exercise this.
Brushes, clay, and sponges may not be obvious tools in the fight against active shooters, but their worth can far exceed their modest appearance. Airmen from the Wright-Patterson Medical Center use the art of moulage to present an authentic crime scene for base first responders during an active shooter exercise.
So if you come up on somebody and you find someone and you just pretend like there's something there, you're not going to feel like you're really there trying to take care of them. So when you come up on somebody and there's blood and there's lacerations and there's things sticking out, you can actually get that real life feeling of how it would be if we were to have a natural disaster take place here.
Where are you? Is anybody there?
And when they have experience, because this looks very close to the real thing, so, they'll have an idea. They won't freak out if they actually run into this on the street.
Clearing an active shooter scene can take time. Only then, as secondary teams ensure a building is safe, can medics methodically work themselves around a cubicle jungle to find the dead and wounded, giving the clear to those who can walk out under their own power,
Come to my voice.
while focusing life-saving efforts on those who can't.
Come on, buddy. Oh, someone came in and shot me.
Senior Airman Drew Wren is not only playing the part of a moulage victim for the first time during the exercise, he's also a member of the Wright-Patterson Security Force.
Really, any preparation is good. It gives you some sort of foundation, so that way, if you do have to respond, at least you have some sort of background with it. You're not completely shocked.
Through and through on right femur. Through and through right femur, exercise message.
I mean, it's going to be scary, if this does actually happen, I have to respond, but you just have to really be confident in what you're doing and know your job. I think if you have those two things, the confidence and then the job knowledge, I think you're going to be fine.
It is important to keep the danger of active shooter attacks in perspective. With more than 100,000 accidental deaths happening in the U.S. every year, the chances of being involved in an active shooter attack are still very slim. But exercises like this may just tip the scales of survivability if the unthinkable becomes reality.
Makes me feel good about preparing everybody for something like that to happen, them being terrible, and hopefully rare occasions. I hope that we'd be ready for something like that.
Reporting from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, I'm John Harrington.